Opinions and stories around the game we love, told by your favorite storytellers. Stay up to date with all things cricket. Subscribe to Cricbuzz's YouTube channel and press that bell icon now.
There's one other aspect we haven't talked about. We did mention there's always something hanging around outside the boundary line. And the obvious one, the sentiments in the Pakistan camp, whether it's with the players, the administration, or the fans, is about the history of the pullout recently. Now, will that add a little bit of extra spark, not just to the game, but to the performance of the players, Joy?
It's an interesting one because I think Kane Williamson put it best. He turned around and said, we players had no decision in this. We had absolutely nothing to do with this. Security, England, UK security picks it up. They give it to New Zealand security. New Zealand security says, okay, we can't. It's too much of a threat to ignore. It's a credible threat. They had to do it. My problem is, and look, I don't blame Pakistan for playing this way because two things. One is that if you stay statesman like this, make statements like this about the players and not playing and all that, you're going to unfortunately get great TRPs. You know, it's a kind of statement that will be picked up by 30 people. So I mean, God knows we have enough in India as well. People who will make statements just to rile people up, because blaming this New Zealand team who had nothing, absolutely nothing to do with playing or not playing. It's not that a single player was asked saying that, are you okay playing here or not? The decision was taken before they came. So my point is that I understand why Pakistan would use it to try and up their players and say there's a grudge match out here, but they have absolutely no logical reason for thinking that way. Of course, coaches, players, a lot of people do things like this to motivate themselves.
Grudge against Kane Williamson. What? I mean, he was not on that tour anyway. Then the people who were on that tour were not part of the side. So none of the players playing here were actually supposed to be out there in Pakistan playing those games. But sometimes, if it can bring you together, so be it. If that's what's going to drive Pakistan together, so be it. But I only hope they don't make a song and dance about it. Certainly not former cricketers who you think should understand better.
Fair point there. And the irony again of it is that it's the nice guys, we keep talking about them, and they certainly are the gentlemen of the game, led by Kane Williamson. Ramiz Raja, of course, has been the thick of many and famous and infamous quotes. And this is the one that, the latest one that's come relevant to this particular game. We go into the World Cup now, and where we had one team in our target, our neighbours India, we now add two more teams, New Zealand and England. So pick up the strength and develop a mindset that we are not going to lose because you didn't do right by us, and we will avenge that on the ground. Strong words coming from...
Yeah, there's far too much playing to the gallery. I'm very happy I'm at the stage I am in my career. But there's so much playing to the gallery that it almost seems that if you tell people it's a sport, you're wrong. Because you must be seen to be playing to the gallery. The biggest enemy to credibility and common sense is the TRP, where that is the only thing you're playing for. I mean, it has saddened me no end. Absolutely saddened me no end to see what Waqar Younis has said about the game against India. I mean, here's someone you've always said, wow, what a player. And the cricketers would have us believe that the cricketers know what to say and what not to say. And then to go out and talk about religion on the field of play and doing it in front of others was one of the most disappointing, saddening things I've heard. You cannot have former cricketers starting to play to the gallery and talk about religion on a playing field in front of someone of another religion. Waqar Younis has played this game. He's been part of so many great battles. And I feel very, very saddened when former players start to get into this and bring in the religion card into sport. No, man, it's disappointing when that happens.
And Joy, I think the most disappointing part, as Harsha himself, is that we've all been close to all these guys. We've had Waqar Younis on our show so many times, flying in for us to India. Ramiz Raja's been
Waqar Younis did the entire Asia Cup with us. The first time he did proper commentary with us was in the Asia Cup. And he lives in Australia most of the time, or used to live in Australia a substantial portion of the time. So I just simply, playing to the gallery at this point in time, just because you're on a television program, it gives you more votes, is just... And there are people guilty of it from all religions and all spectrums. Unfortunately, it's just, I think it's a time at which, can we tell people, let's talk about cricket? I mean, that's why we are here. This is a game of cricket. This is not a war. This is not a political, this is not an election rally. It's a game of cricket. Can we talk about
Yeah.
it?
And what that does is it puts the entire countries, entire cricket communities, it starts to envelop all of them and give people the feeling there's a homogeneous group underneath that, which is not true. I've met so many cricket lovers in Pakistan. I've met so many cricket lovers in India who are not like that. But when you make statements like that, you now are trying to be this aggressive player to the gallery, but you do great harm and great disservice to people from your own country. Anyway, this will start to overcome the game. But I'm saddened and disappointed.